we ready? I know you guys are ready. It's Saturday night. We are live, man. It's a Saturday night in the middle of summer and we're watching wrestling on TNT, man. Are we geeks or are we geeks? Jungle Boy Jack Perry tonight challenged Kenny Omega for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. If there's one thing that came out of this match tonight, it's that Jungle Boy solidified himself as a future World Heavyweight Champion. AEW continues to build towards Road Rager, which is looking like a can't-miss show. And I got news on Kenny Omega. Who and when will he drop that Impact World Title to? Matt Hardy speaks on Jeff possibly joining AEW. And Tony Khan said AEW Double or Nothing was better than WrestleMania. I see no lies detected, Mr. Bossman Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live inside the venue. It's Saturday night, and this is Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite, AEW Saturday Night Dynamite review and post show for June 26th, 2021. I am your host, JD from New York, live from the OTS venue. In parts unknown, where's the venue? Can I get a ticket to the venue? No, you can't. Only select few get in. Obviously, as you guys see, I am by myself. Jesse is busy with family stuff, which I absolutely understand. He is doing his thing at home with the family. He will, from my understanding, be back at the normal, regularly scheduled time of Wednesday at 10 p.m. live this coming Wednesday when Dynamite finally, after a month, goes back to their normal time slot on TNT. Jesse will be back on Wednesday. I unfortunately have to do this show solo. I know. A lot of you guys miss Jesse. A lot of you guys want Jesse. A A lot of you guys actually prefer Jesse over me. Some of you geeks out there actually do. But I am sad to say that I am here by myself inside the venue. So nobody is going to be getting me ice for the ice bins. He is taking the night off. So if your beverage is lukewarm, just blame Jesse. Thank you guys again for joining me on your Saturday night, man. I know a lot of people are probably out drinking and partying and shooting off fireworks like they are on my fucking street. Scared the living shit out of my goddamn cats, I'll tell you that. But I know it's a Saturday night. I know people are enjoying themselves. It's fucking hot as balls in New York City. It's not hot, but it's just unseasonably, just ridiculously humid, man. So much so that the air conditioner is on, and I don't even feel that it's on right now. Not sure if you guys can hear it in the background, that slight buzzing. Hopefully my mix board, my soundboard kind of gets rid of all that in the end. You know, it's something I didn't even realize that I had on here, but I do. It's on, and it's not even cooling the room. I just hate this type of weather, man. I don't mind the summer, but when it's that humid, it's definitely not JD weather. What is JD weather is a good wrestling show. That's what we got tonight, man. It wasn't a great show by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't a, oh my God, I have to go out and get trashed and then immediately watched, AEW Dynamite on Sunday morning. It's not that type of show, man. It's legitimately tonight a one-match show with a lot of build and a lot of hype going into next week's Dynamite with Sammy Guevara and MJF. A lot of hype going into their first live show away from Daly's Place for Road Rager in Miami, Florida, which they're billing as a huge deal. It's going to be a big show, man. There's a lot of great shit happening on that show. We will go over that tonight at some point. But it was a one-match show tonight. And it was all about Kenny Omega. And it was all about Jungle Boy. And it was for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. We will talk about that and everything that came out of that match. Everything that I feel like will be happening to Jungle Boy in the near future. I do think that he's got, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, an incredibly bright future. Tony Khan would not have put him in that situation tonight. He would not have given Jungle Boy the Battle Royal at Double or Nothing if he did not believe in Jungle Boy. He will be a future world champion. If there's one thing that came out of this match tonight with Kenny Omega, is that he is beloved by everybody. He is such a natural babyface. He's got the makings of that Daniel Bryan-like, just, you gotta cheer for him because there's no fucking way you can go against him babyface, man. That's the type of babyface Jungle Boy is slowly becoming. He's just got the power of the fans behind him. It would be criminal for him to not win a world championship in his wrestling career with AEW. It's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. And that's the one thing that I took away from this match tonight. I think all of us who watch the show who are smart enough know that Kenny Omega is not dropping that championship anytime soon. He's not dropping that title anytime soon. And, a sidebar on Omega. I hear Meltzer talking about how Omega is banged up. He's really hurt. He's banged up. I don't know how he's wrestling and yada, yada, yada. He's got tonight's match with Jungle Boy. He's got a match coming up with Sami Callihan, which could shed years off his fucking career. If you ask me, you put him in the ring with Sami. I mean, Sami is no regular performer. Sami's going to beat the living shit out of you. So that's going to be a huge deal for not only the Impact World Championship, but for Kenny Omega and how hurt he really is, and his reign as AEW champion. Then he's got the match with Andrade, which is not going to be a fucking walk in the park either. I mean, Omega is probably the best wrestler in the world, and you're going up against easily one of the top 5 guys in the world in Andrade. It's not going to be a walk in the park, man. You're going to be tested against Andrade for that AAA championship. So Omega does not have an easy summer, man. I don't know where he's hurt, how he's coping, how he's dealing, but I can't see anything. He's either a fucking Terminator, really, or he is just very good at hiding his pain, which is amazing. But if there's one thing that came out of tonight's show, it's that Jungle Boy is undoubtedly going to be a major player in the world of AEW. World champion written all over him, no doubt about it. I may get some flack for saying that because of Jungle Boy's size, but, I think we're in a day and age right now where we can comfortably say that and not have all these bullshit opinions coming out as, he's too small. He's a vanilla midget. And on all this bullshit. Because those are the people that just live to hate everything. Live to hate AEW, live to hate the great professional wrestlers in NXT, like a Johnny Gargano or an Adam. I get it all the time with Adam Cole. Oh, JD's an Adam Cole fan. Adam Cole's one of the best professional wrestlers on the face of this planet. What are you talking about? Give me a break. Did you say the same thing about Shawn Michaels when he split from Marty Jannetty and went solo? I don't think so. Maybe you did. Good thing Twitter wasn't around then. God knows what we would have seen and heard and read if Twitter was around in the early 90s. But that's the way I feel about guys like that. Sammy Guevara, same thing. Darby Allin, same thing. There's no reason why you can't slot these guys into those main event spots and give them that push to the top. And that's exactly what AEW did tonight, man. It wasn't a blowaway show by any stretch of the imagination. It was a show that Tony Khan knew, hey, I'm not an idiot. I know people are out on a Saturday night. The last fucking thing they want to do is watch goddamn pro wrestling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this show around this one match with Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega. I'm going to have it be a great fucking main event. I'm going to build my guy up to a point where you're going to look at him and say the same exact thing that I'm telling you right now. And on the rest of the show, I'm going to build up all these younger guys. Dante Martin, you got Evan Bourne or Matt Sydal on the show. You got Bear Bronson. You got all these young kids. Will Hobbs on the show. This was a show that Tony Khan put together because he knows a lot of people are not going to watch. And he put all of his young kids out there to get a taste of what it's like in front of a live audience. Get a taste of what it's like in prime time on Saturday night. Get yourself acclimated because things are going to start moving quickly. So, thumbs up to Tony Khan, man. It might not have been a blowaway, great professional wrestling show, but it was a solid show that only does AEW good for the future moving forward with a solid main event and Jungle Boy being built up as the next big thing in the eyes of Tony Khan. That's a win-win situation, if you ask me. That's a win-win formula for AEW. But thank you guys so very much for joining me, man. We got close to 1,000 people here inside the venue on a Saturday night. I'll take it, man. I know you guys are out drinking. What are you guys drinking inside the venue, man? Give me your beverage of choice in the venue, in the chat right now. I'm drinking my good old Liquid Death sparkling water, man. I had a couple of beers today. Shout out to my boy, Andrew Zarian of the Matman Podcast, part of the Observer family, Wrestling Observer family. I met him earlier today. We had a beautiful lunch over in Queens today, and we were at this place called Bourbon Street on Bell Boulevard in Queens, and we had a couple of cold beverages. We talked pro wrestling. We talked the community. We talked everything regarding what we're doing and the projects we got coming up, man. Andrew's always a great time to hang around. Love the guy. We're going to be hanging out again in a couple of weeks. So shout out to him. If you guys don't know, Matman Podcast, go and check out him and everything he does on his own show. He's also, like I said, a part of the Observer family with Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer. So shout out to Andrew Zarian. Good guy, all-around good guy, and I'm glad that we got a chance to catch up today, this afternoon. I see a lot of non-alcoholic beverages in the chat, man. A&W root beer, Coke, water. We don't serve water in this bar here, man. We're like Coyote Ugly. Okay, you ask for water, I'm going to have one of the bartenders spray you down with the fucking water behind the bar. No water allowed. I'll let the soda go, but no water. Anyway, like I said, we got some news and rumors surrounding AEW as well. We got news on Kenny Omega. We got news on Matt Hardy talking about Jeff Hardy. News on Tony Khan. News on Mr. Mark Henry blasting haters who criticize AEW for hiring ex-talent. Gonna be a good night, man. Gonna be a good night. Bro, listen, I gotta tell you something. My day was fucking ruined, man. My day was shattered. My heart is broken. Oh my God. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna live through the rest of my week. What am I gonna do? Please Somebody help me. Somebody, please, pray for my sanity, man. What am I going to do? I'm going to sit down at church and pray to Jesus Christ, man, that he gives me the power to get through this week. Oh, man, Sasha Banks liked an anti-vax tweet. Yeah, good luck on canceling Sasha Banks, you fucking geeks, man. Why don't you go out and enjoy the fucking sun and get some vitamin D, please? What a bunch of fucking geeks. My God, man. That's what people are complaining about today on social media. Oh, Sasha Banks liked an anti-vax Instagram post. Give me a break, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me. There's bigger things to worry about than what Sasha Banks is doing on social media, man. Why don't you let the woman enjoy her fucking life, please? Jesus Christ. Anyway, we got news and rumors. We got a review coming up. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here on Off the Script. Go and follow me on social media. That's what you guys need to do, man. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Go and hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We're looking at 342 likes in the live stream chat right now. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. If you enjoyed Jungle Boy and Omega tonight, man, let me know by hitting that thumbs up. So let's try for 750 tonight before we get on out of here later. Make sure you guys get your super chats in. We will be hanging out as usual, man, drinking some cold beverages, hanging out, listening to some good tunes with the super chats later. So make sure you guys do that. Get them on in. We'll hang out and read them at the end of the show. And today's show is sponsored by Dr. Squatch, drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off, man. It's hot. It's humid. It's muggy. It's sticky. Don't smell. I know you guys are wrestling fans, but I don't want none of my community to go out there and be the stereotypical wrestling fan, man. You can't be using shit to bathe with. You can't be washing your hair with artificial synthetic garbage. Make sure you guys go get some Dr. Squatch. This is indeed Hoolagrim approved. Hoolagrim is one of the chat moderators in the venue. So he lives and dies by Dr. Squatch. And if I do, and he does, I mean, why the fuck won't you go get Dr. Squatch, man? drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. And make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos on the channel. We got a ton of content. If you guys missed anything, it is there. Go and check it out. Programming note, I will be live again tomorrow night, man. We're having a Sunday night main event Off the Script, man. We will be live with episode 382 of the podcast, live from the venue, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. So make sure you guys set your notifications. Make sure you have your YouTube notifications turned on, your Twitter notifications turned on. We will be live with Off the Script, the flagship podcast, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Sunday night. Make sure you guys go and look out for that. Let's start off at the top, man. Let's start with the news and rumors portion of the show. We'll kind of bleed into the review. Tony Khan. Boss man Tony Khan, bro. Love Tony Khan. He's the cooler Khan. You know, Nick Khan, he's too busy buying $7 million fucking mansions while firing half the WWE roster. But Tony Khan, he's the cool one, man. Tony Khan says AEW Double or Nothing was better than WrestleMania. Folks, I see absolutely no lies detected in this statement. If you guys want to proofread it, something that Bruce Pritchard doesn't do for the Raw and SmackDown scripts, if you guys want to proofread it, by all means, do so. But I see nothing that needs to be changed there in that factual statement. Double or Nothing, I was there. It was a great show. It was one of the best wrestling shows that I've been to ever. As far as the crowd reaction that I felt, 5,000 deep inside Daly's place. Now, he was actually on Pardon My Take. He was on ESPN. And Tony Khan made a bold claim. He made a bold claim about AEW in a huge way, putting them over, which it's his company. He should be doing that. Everybody in that position puts over what they're doing. It's not, outlandish or bizarre. But he said All Elite Wrestling beat out Vince McMahon's biggest show of the year. He says this, and I quote, "I'll tell you something. Double or Nothing last year and this year," I'll stop right there. Last year was I didn't like the pandemic Double or Nothing, man. It felt, we were in the middle of that shit, man. Nothing felt right. I'm going to erase everything that happened last year. I don't even consider half of the shit that we saw on television pro wrestling. It was complete shit. AEW had some great shows, but last year's Double or Nothing was not all that good. And that could be in the same boat as WrestleMania 36. Double or Nothing last year and this year, in my opinion, was a better show than WrestleMania. I liked this year's WrestleMania show a lot better than last year's, clearly, because there was fans. They had some fans this year, and everyone was there that worked their ass off. You got to give props to. They worked their ass off both years. This year, I thought both were good shows. They did a 2-night show, and it was a good show. But I thought Double or Nothing this year was outstanding, and it was the best wrestling show of the year so far. And last year, Double or Nothing during the pandemic, it kicked the shit out of WrestleMania last year. The pandemic version last year, not even close. Double or Nothing was a much better show. End quote. I sense no lies detected in anything that he said. I would absolutely take last year's Double or Nothing show over WrestleMania last year. I would, because AEW had still some ambiance with the roster around ringside. It was still an empty arena show, but WrestleMania last year, I don't even consider that WrestleMania. It was fucking pointless what they did. It really was. Nothing felt right on that show. It was a complete waste of time. The only thing that really came out of that show that I genuinely liked was the Boneyard match between The Undertaker and AJ Styles. And that was it. I don't even remember half of anything that happened on that show. Charlotte and Rhea Ripley had a decent match. Becky and Shayna Baszler had a decent match. Wrong outcome, but decent match. The ladder match between one of the Usos, I believe it was Jey Uso, and it was John Morrison and Kofi Kingston, I believe. That was a decent match, but everything just felt off. Everything felt off on that show. Double or Nothing this year absolutely was better than WrestleMania. If you really want me to throw you guys a fact, WrestleMania was a 2-night show. That was it. It was what we got in the main event on night 1 with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, and that was pretty much it on night 1. Night 1 was better than night 2, but nothing really stood out to me that I'm going to go back and watch and say, oh my God, that was a great match. Nothing's really going to stand out. Bianca and Sasha killed it in the main event. And what I think is the match of the year so far, in North America anyway, not even worrying about what happens overseas, because if I say the best match in pro wrestling, then people are going to say, oh, well, they're going to name some fucking unnamed Japanese wrestler versus unnamed Japanese wrestler number 2 as best match of the year. Listen, I don't watch Joshi's. I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't care what happens over there. But the best match in North America for us here was Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns on night 2 of WrestleMania. That was a tremendous triple threat match that solidified Roman Reigns as the number 1 heel in all of pro wrestling. That was it. WrestleMania had only those 2 matches, and that was it. Meanwhile, from top to bottom, I'm not going to say Double or Nothing was a perfect card, which it wasn't. There were some duds on that show, like a Go-Go versus Cody was one. But outside of that, I feel like everything else was really solid. I don't want to say Britt Baker winning the Women's Championship against Shida was a dud, because it wasn't. The moment was great, but I just think everybody kind of anticipated her winning, which kind of took away from the overall match. But other than that, everything was tremendous. The triple threat match with Kenny Omega and Pac and Orange Cassidy, fantastic. You had to be there to really understand what I'm talking about. The Stadium Stampede match was the best cinematic match I think that any promotion has done outside the Boneyard match. It was fantastic. And then it was mixed with tape being live. We were there live. We didn't know what to expect. They all came into the venue, and it was a continuation of what we watched on the big screen in the stadium. And it was, again, tremendous. So for everybody saying, oh, well, you know, JD's an AEW shill, that's the only reason why he's saying that. If WrestleMania was a better show than Double or Nothing, I would absolutely sit here and tell you guys that, you know what, Tony Khan, I think he's stretching the truth there a little bit. I think he's fibbing. I would have said WrestleMania was a better show. And I say it every year. WrestleMania usually is the worst wrestling show of the year. And that is a fact. Because WWE doesn't really do anything into the build. And as we've seen this year, again, worse than ever before, the build for WrestleMania was fucking horrendous. It usually is the worst built wrestling show of the entire year. So, yes, Tony Khan is correct. I'm sorry to tell all the fucking salty geeks out there, the AEW haters, I'm sorry. This one's for the good guys. The evil empire in WWE, they got more things to worry about than fucking Tony Khan speaking legitimate truth on ESPN. I'm sorry. I'll go buy you a box of fucking Johnson & Johnson tissues. Go wipe your fucking tears and cry in the fucking corner. I'll be over here drinking my cold beverage, laughing it up with Boss Man, saying how right he really is. Moving on. We got Mark Henry. Mark Henry is blasting AEW haters for AEW hiring ex-WWE talent. I'm sorry. I don't know how this makes any sense whatsoever. This is what angers people so much. Because these blind hating geeks out there, they always think that they're one step ahead of the game when all of us are sitting here saying, what exactly are you saying? Why are you saying this? Because you're sounding like a complete blithering idiot. Mark Henry was on Busted Open Radio recently, and he talked about how fans criticize AEW for signing former WWE talents. Mark Henry said the company has signed veterans such as himself, Paul White, Christian, and that's because AEW is still a new company. He says, and I quote, "So you haters out there, think about that little message today. You know what? AEW is not broken. If it's not broken, don't fix it. They are already successful. What our job is now, and I say our because now I work for them, is to fine-tune. All you musicians out there, you know when your guitar is off. You know when the keys in the piano are a little bit lax and you have to get everything tightened and tuned. That's what AEW needs. They're successful already. They have winners. Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Cody, Sammy Guevara, etc., etc. Despite that, you know, he's right. He's right. Fine-tuning? Yes. Every company needs fine-tuning. But despite him addressing the haters, you know, he really could have went a little harder on everybody and really broke it down the way it should be broken down. He did mention it's a business. Yes, that's exactly why Tony Khan made Chris Jericho their first world champion. Because Chris Jericho is one of the biggest names in the industry, period, in history. So why would you not make somebody like that of a brand new promotion, the face of the company, to get the ball rolling? If AEW gave Adam Hangman Page the world championship, what good would that do? Who knows Adam Page here in North America? Who knows Adam Page as a casual wrestling fan scrolling through their TV guide on their cable box and come across TNT and AEW Dynamite? Nobody's going to know who Adam Hangman Page is. And additionally, with somebody like that, why wouldn't you give the veteran the world championship, continue to build up the young guys where we see Adam Page now, so when he wins his first world championship, it's even sweeter than it would have been the first time. Now everybody knows who he is. Now everybody is more invested in him. Now everybody is like, oh shit, I can't wait for Page to win the world championship. Then it would have just been forcing somebody into a world championship position without really having that fan investment in him. You might have been a fan, but you're not as big of a fan then than you are now. So I love how these internet geeks think that they can run a fucking pro wrestling company. I never state that I could run a pro wrestling company better than anybody, but I damn sure know my shit. If you give me a pen and fucking talent to work with, and you give me control of a roster for about a month, I guarantee I'll do a better fucking job than creative Bruce Pritchard. Or any of these fucking geeks backstage. I mean, all you gotta do is watch my show. I'm not saying that I'll run the fucking company better, but I know what's right, I know what's wrong, I know what is logically creative and makes sense, and I know what's not. Clearly, all you have to do is watch the show. And that goes for AEW as well. They're not perfect. But this is exactly what Mark Henry should have said. I'm sure at some point on Busted Open, somebody mentioned it, whether it was him or Bully Ray, somebody mentioned that. That's just one of the easier things to pinpoint. But the other thing a lot of people don't realize is you got someone like Aleister Black out there. You got somebody like Ruby Riott out there. You got somebody like Andrade, Miro out there, right? FTR, when they were free agents. Now you got more free agents in the way of Buddy Murphy and Tyler Breeze and Fandango and all these guys. Tony Nese is a tremendous talent as well. AEW can't sign everybody, but this is why other promotions exist. They will have a easy time finding work. If WWE monopolized the entire industry like they want to do, then none of these people would have fucking work. They'd be stuck in WWE making a fucking paycheck and not wrestling because that is their passion, and their passion would quickly die. Thank God for an Impact. Thank God for an AEW. Thank God for an MLW and a Ring of Honor. You'd be lucky to have more promotions like that in North America so that all these talented men and women have places to go and find work and build their craft and maybe make it back to one of the bigger promotions. But why wouldn't you go out and hire an Andrade? What are you, fucking stupid? Oh, yeah, you could make fun of me all you want, you fucking idiot. Andrade's a top 5 world-class professional wrestler on this planet. Yes, please let me sit around in the free agent market and not sign him to my company. What are you, fucking stupid? Who would logically let that happen? Tony Khan is not an idiot. He's going to go out there and sign who he thinks is elite. Andrade goes with the word elite. He's an elite pro wrestler. Listen, I say this all the time. The only one that's going to ever move the needle if he comes back is CM Punk. Andrade's not moving the needle. Aleister Black, Miro, Braun Strowman, they're not moving the needle. They're not moving any needle. Nobody's moving a fucking needle, okay? You need something big like a CM Punk pipe bomb or a CM Punk return, something along those lines that's really going to transcend the industry. It's one of those things that is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. That's the only thing that's going to move the needle for AEW. But I'm not going to let Aleister Black sit as a free agent. I'm not going to let Andrade sit as a free agent. So you could sit there behind your fucking keyboard with your Dorito-crusted fucking fingers and your box of lube and tissues behind you. I don't give a fuck. The fuck do you know? You don't know jack shit. That's why you're sitting there looking at 1996 WWF magazines with Sonny in a fucking bikini. You fucking geek. Give me a break. Let Tony Khan handle business. You and anybody else on the internet talking shit. Why don't you go and get ready for your fucking $4.25 hour Burger King job flipping burgers? Really? No pickles on mine. You fucking slob. And additionally, I want you to look at WWE's roster, man. How many of those guys were once upon a time your favorite independent wrestler? WWE's entire roster is made up of all your favorite indie talent. So please, spare me the tears and spare me the bullshit of WWE and what they do, and they don't get a fucking, criticism on this, but AEW does. AEW signing all WWE talent, but all of WWE's talent is ex-indie talent. Most of WWE's women's division on NXT is not homegrown. So please, tell me how this is bothering you, but that is not. Anyway, I stated my piece. Thank you guys for listening to me rant on these 2 news stories. We got more news. We're going to filter it through the rest of the podcast tonight. And I appreciate you guys hanging with me. We're going to get into the review now, but let's check the chat, man. We got 1,100 inside the venue for Saturday night. Listen, man, I'll take it. Like I said, I know you guys are out partying and doing your thing. If you catch up with the show, I appreciate it either way. 425 likes, man. The goal is 750. So if you have not hit that thumbs up and you're here in the live stream right now, please do so. It helps me out tremendously. So let's try for 750. And the super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. We start off AEW Dynamite, Saturday Night Dynamite, with Hangman Adam Page against Powerhouse Will Hobbs. This was the open of the show. Hangman is getting used to being that opening act on AEW television, man. He opened Double or Nothing against Brian Page to one of the biggest pops of the entire night that night. And he came out and got a tremendous reaction from the fans in Daly's Place Live against Powerhouse Will Hobbs. This was a very good match, man. Good big man match. And I'm liking Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, more and more every time I see it, man. Hobbs is a big fucking dude. He really is. He's not trying to overexert himself. He's not trying to go out there and do planchas and do moonsaults. He's not trying to be the next Keith Lee, who I miss dearly, who I hate WWE for changing him and what he brought to the table. He was unique, and WWE wanted to make him not unique anymore. But I appreciate Powerhouse Hobbs for not going out there and trying to be something he's not, man. He's got such a huge fucking upside in the way that he looks, man. He looks the part. Soon as he gets all of those pieces to kind of fall into play, Will Hobbs is going to be a major deal in AEW. You might not see it now, but he's got the makings of something really, really good. Somebody like this and how young he is, man, you can't give up on somebody like that. You got to be patient watching them. And one of the things that I always talk about, and I mention this all the time when it comes to talent, when I see somebody like this and we see him more and more and mature and get better, add to his moveset, add to his repertoire, it's the best thing for me as a fan to watch, because I remember watching all these guys from the very beginning, and to see them get to a certain point and them get better, it's incredibly gratifying as a fan. It really is. And that's what I got from tonight's match with Adam Page. That's what I got from this match with Will Hobbs. So, this was a big man match. Both of these guys are in the top 5. Adam Page, after tonight, is the number 1 contender for Kenny Omega and the AEW World Championship. So, they were on the floor. They were on the outside. Hobbs is attacking Page's right arm. He wrapped it around the barricade. He was slamming into the steel post on the outside. Hobbs tried to toss Page into the corner post, but Page fought out, finally pushing Hobbs into the steel post. Page was busted open. I don't know what from. He was busted open on the top of his head. I did not get a clear shot, but he was bleeding from the top of the head. Not badly, but you've seen some color. So they were back in the ring. Page hit big boots, hit his springboard lariat, finally took Will Hobbs down. Plancha followed out to the floor. So we got back in the ring. Top rope moonsault to Will Hobbs in the ring. Page went for a cover, got a 2 count. Hobbs powered out of a suplex and leveled Page with a lariat, almost turning him inside out, but not quite. Page rolled out of the way of a diving headbutt and took Hobbs out with a big lariat of his own for a 2 count. Hobbs fought out of a deadeye and took Page down with a running crossbody, which looked great. Ricky Starks and Hook came out with the FTW Championship, where Brian Cage ran interference here and sent both of them retreating. This distraction allowed Hobbs to hit a big spine buster as Adam Page tried for the buckshot lariat. Hobbs countered the buckshot into a devastating spine buster, man. Absolutely beautiful spine buster by Will Hobbs, man. Grade A spine buster. Excellent stuff. So that got a near fall. They traded elbow smashes until the end of the match. Page avoided a running crossbody, hit a German suplex, and then he wins not with the buckshot lariat, but he wins with the deadeye, and he pins Will Hobbs 1, 2, 3 to get the victory and secure his number 1 ranking spot for the AEW World Championship. I like the fact, I don't know what you guys think, I don't know what you guys think about this, but I'm glad Page did not win with the buckshot lariat, man. Page, he missed the buckshot, and Will Hobbs had it well scouted. But Will Hobbs didn't know that Adam Hangman Page also has the Deadeye in his back pocket, which is great because it gives him multiple chances to win a match without relying on his main finishing move. He's got the Deadeye as well. So when it comes to it and one of them doesn't work, he's always got the other one in the back pocket, which is great as well from a fan's perspective too, because I hate when people kick out of multiple finishers. It's fine every once in a while, but when it happens over and over and over again, I think it lessens the effect of the finishing move. So if Page is going to use the buckshot and somebody's going to kick out, he's always got the Deadeye to rely on, and vice versa, which is great. So he wins with the Deadeye here, which I loved, and he gets the victory over Powerhouse Will Hobbs. The Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler. The Bucks are just rocking and rolling with this heel gimmick, man. I love it. I think it's great. Matt Jackson said the trolls and the haters call them overrated, yet they're the longest reigning AEW Tag Team Champions in, I believe, the company's history. They talked about facing Penta El Zero and Eddie Kingston. He said they're EVPs, meaning extremely violent people, and vowed to win to prevent Penta and Kingston from earning a future tag team title shot. Now, I don't know what you guys think about this. Wasn't it just a couple weeks ago that we seen Penta and Pac get a tag team title opportunity against the Young Bucks? Now we're getting Penta and Eddie Kingston get a tag team title opportunity. I feel like we're running the same matches with the Young Bucks over and over again. I get that we're continuing the story of Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley and what they did with the Bucks. And obviously Pac and Penta have a problem with the Bucks, and Kingston's there to now team with them because Moxley's out. Moxley and Renee had their baby, so Moxley's obviously home caring for his wife and spending time with the family. But I feel like AEW has so many tag teams right now, and they're not really featuring other tag teams on the show to really build momentum for that team or those teams to go up against the Bucks. I feel like they're doing the same match over and over again. Now we got Kingston and Penta having an eliminator match next week, I believe it is. And if they beat the Bucks, then they get a tag team title shot. Why do we need to see that type of match when we saw it already, minus Kingston? And why do we need to see a potential, hey, let's beat the champions. If they do, they get a tag team title shot at a future show. That's a WWE thing to do, man. I ranted about this extensively on Friday night with SmackDown. Apollo Crews and Big E had a Money in the Bank qualifying match, and they pinned Apollo Crews clean. And Apollo Crews is the Intercontinental Champion while Big E advanced to the Money in the Bank. You couldn't come up with somebody else for Big E to beat in that spot. You had to have him beat Apollo Crews, who's the Intercontinental Champion. I don't like that, man. Champions should not be losing on television. Now, AEW's done a great job at not doing that, but one of these weeks, I feel like they're just going to do it, and I'm not going to like it. There's so many other teams on AEW right now, or in AEW, in their tag team division, but yet we're seeing the same teams challenge the Bucks for the tag team championships. It's either the same teams or a mixture of teams that aren't really teams. What exactly are we doing here? It's crazy. Tony Schiavone. He was in the ring with Tully Blanchard and Konnan. I was very much looking forward to this because I usually like these debates, man. They usually get heated, and they usually kind of sprinkle some truth in the dialogue. So I was very much looking forward to this. Tully said that it's his pleasure. I'll let you talk first. It's my pleasure. Please go ahead. So we let Konnan talk first. Konnan said, we're still playing mind games right off the bat, huh? He said, proud and powerful will not be intimidated. He then rebutted FTR's claim that they had the same upbringing in North Carolina as Proud and Powerful had in New York, which we all know is definitely not the case. Konnan said North Carolina has men and sheep who run scared of those men. That's a low blow right there. If I'm telling you, I got a problem with that comment right there, right off the bat. He then contrasted bar fights to barn fights because barns, North Carolina, you guys get the picture. He mentioned something about vegan meat and the cows in the fields and, North Carolina. FTR, I guess, is vegan. They're spokesman for vegan meat or Beyond Meat or Impossible Burgers. I don't know. I don't eat any of that shit. I think it's fucking disgusting. Give me a fucking hamburger made of genuine beef, okay? None of this Beyond shit or vegan soy-filled garbage, okay? So he cited a stat about incarceration rates between North Carolina and New York City. Tully tried to stop him in this promo. Before he could continue, Konnan said, listen, I'm not done yet. I'm going to finish what I have to say, and you're going to listen to me. So Tully did not blink an eye, man. He was solid staring Konnan right in the face. He then says this one. You ought to learn Spanish because you might need it to communicate with your grandkids. Meaning that his daughter, Tessa, is married to Daga, who is Spanish. And he's going to need to learn the language so that he can communicate with his grandchildren. This was a clear shot at his daughter, Tessa, and who she's married to. If you guys didn't understand that. A lot of people are like, what does he mean by that? Yada, yada, yada. That's a direct shot at Tessa and who she's married to, Daga, because they're eventually going to have kids, and then Tully's going to be a grandfather. Tully says he knows about Spanish. Don't worry about me. And I researched you, Konnan, is what he said. He said he doesn't know who he's dealing with. Tully's got 4 inches from Konan's face at this point. He's right there, and his face basically touching noses. And he said FTR are going to end this game. Konnan said when this is done, he'll be happy to know that Walmart are still hiring greeters. Konnan was calling his men to join him in the ring. And then Tully just pointed at the big screen. And everybody was looking up at what was going on. So we got these 2 masked men coming out. And everybody thought it was Santana and Ortiz. Did not look like it, body type. It might have looked like it, but I kind of realized what Tully was going to do here. As soon as he said, let's look up at the big screen, I kind of knew what was going on. So we look up at the big screen, and Santana and Ortiz are laying down in the back. They were attacked. It was a premeditated attack by FTR. FTR comes out wearing presidential masks like Santana and Ortiz did on their debut night. They took off the masks, and they attacked Konnan. They gave him a spike pile driver off the second turnbuckle right in the middle of the ring, and they were beating the shit out of him, and that was it. Tully bent over, talking shit. Now what do you say, big boy? You don't got much to say. FTR, Cash, and Dax, they were talking trash. And Santana and Ortiz, man, when they get their hands on FTR, it is going to be an absolute fucking war. Seriously. I said this on social media, man. First of all, this was great. This was great. What Tully and Konnan did, excellent stuff. Konnan clearly still has the mic skills at his age to really just go out there and cut a great promo. And he was fantastic tonight. Tully, I loved his intensity. I loved his no bullshit, comebacks. I loved his stance. And I loved the fact that he was always one step ahead of Konnan, even though Konnan thought he was getting the best of Tully. And then with FTR coming out and attacking Konnan, this match between Santana and Ortiz and FTR, man, when it happens, I'm making a prediction right now. It's not really a bold prediction, but knowing what I know about Santana and Ortiz and knowing what I know about FTR and how amazing of a tag team that they are, when this match happens, we may see it at All Out. We may see it at All Out. We don't know. We may see it earlier than that. But when it happens, we may be looking at the best tag team match of the entire year. I'm getting big-time LAX versus Lucha Brothers vibes from these guys. And when me and Hodge talked to both Santana and Ortiz, I asked them the same question on Critiques and Connoisseurs. That's our other project that we're working on. Season 2's coming very soon. We had Santana and Ortiz on the show. We were drinking some peanut butter whiskey. We were drinking some Jameson cold brew whiskey. And I asked, who is your fight forever opponent? And both of them said the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix. That may be the case. Santana said word for word that we'll be 50 and then we'll be fighting those guys when we're 50 years old. It's pretty much what's going to happen between us two teams. And I feel like if you want to add a second team to that list, it could be FTR. This is going to be Santana Ortiz's biggest test as far as a tag team match goes outside the Young Bucks. And this is going to be their fight forever opponent. As long as these two teams are in the same company, this is going to be a thing that is always going to be a thing. And I love it. I love the intensity of both of these teams. And I think they're going to tear the fucking house down, man. They're really just going to go out there and do what they got to do. And it's just going to be beautiful tag team wrestling. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be so good. Vickie Guerrero. She came out and she did her excuse me routine, which, I'm sorry, Jesse, is old. It is outdated. It is just cringe. And I honestly think that she should come up with something new. She's relying on a gimmick that she did all those years ago, and it is not working with anybody in the audience. It's not. It's not like it used to be when she was doing it on SmackDown. So Vickie Guerrero came out doing her, excuse me, screeching at the top of her lungs. She introduced Andrade El Idolo. He looks fucking great. If we all aspired to be Andrade, man, and look like Andrade, we would be so much better off, really. He looks amazing. He had this beautiful suit on. He opened it up. It had El Idolo stitched into the jacket on the inside. So we have both of them saying that they got a major announcement to make. And I'm like, here we go. Here's Thea. But we didn't get any major announcement. Apparently this match is supposed to be happening on Wednesday, this mixed tag team match. It's supposed to be Vickie Guerrero and Nyla Rose versus Reba, Rebel, and Britt Baker. I don't think Vickie Guerrero needs to wrestle. I think Vickie Guerrero wrestling while she is kind of managing Andrade is not a good look. You got to protect Vickie like you got to protect Andrade. I don't think Vickie wrestling is going to do Andrade any good. That's just my opinion there. Maybe this announcement shows up next week. Maybe Thea is actually signed to AEW. And if we see Thea, Trinidad, a.k.a. Zelina Vega, then I think we see Aleister Black in 2 months' time join AEW. Just kind of makes sense, man. It's like a big puzzle. One piece is in place, then you got Aleister Black, who is married to Thea. He'll probably inevitably join AEW. So we'll see what happens and what their surprise really is. But they were stopped. Matt Sydal with his brother Mike came out and interrupted because Andrade and Vickie actually were interrupting time and taking time away from Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. Pretty decent match between these two guys. I mean, this was just a showcase match. What Matt Sydal could do on a Saturday night in front of a live audience. What Dante Martin is capable of in Top Flight. So we got a decent match here between these two. And Dante hit a great sunset flip at the end for a near fall. Really got some elevation on it. He followed that with a flipping stunner for another 2 count. He went back to the top rope. Eventually, Sydal avoided a stomp and he hit the lightning spiral. One of his signature moves for the win. Matt Sydal defeats Dante Martin in what was basically a showcase match of a veteran in Matt Sydal against one of AEW's top prospects and half of a top up-and-coming tag team in Top Flight. It's pretty much what it was. No more, no less. Jungle Boy was interviewed. He was backstage and he was talking about his title match with Kenny Omega later on in the show. And he was interrupted by Christian Cage. He said it'll be the biggest night of his career. And tonight is his night. He asked if he's feeling good. And Jungle Boy said, listen, I'm nervous. Christian said he should be pissed off that there are people who don't believe he deserves this opportunity. And Kenny Omega is one of them. He said he is ready to shock the world. He did it once at the Casino Battle Royale. So to shock them again, he will when he wins the AEW World Championship tonight. And I thought after this, I don't know what you guys thought about this promo, but it looked like Christian kind of subtly gave off a little of a heelish vibe in that backstage segment with Jungle Boy. I don't know when they're planning on doing it, but I feel like it's eventually coming after Christian dispatches of Matt Hardy. I really do think that it's happening. Don't know when, don't know how they're going to do it, but I thought it was going to happen tonight after this promo. I thought Christian was actually going to be the one responsible to screw Jungle Boy out of a World Championship match, but then it really wouldn't make sense because he's feuding with Matt Hardy right now, which, in my honest opinion, I don't really have any interest in. I'd rather Christian and Jungle Boy get their thing started, but we got some time before All Out. So I guess we'll do the nostalgia Matt Hardy-Christian Cage match on Dynamite and get that out of the way, and then they could start building towards Christian versus Jungle Boy for All Out, because that's exactly where they're going with this. But he did give off some heel vibes, and I do think that it still is in the cards for Christian Cage to turn heel. I don't think he's working as a babyface right now, man. I don't think people see him as one. I don't think people, sadly, care about Christian Cage as a babyface. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he gets a championship match. Maybe Jungle Boy comes out and kind of helps him to maybe win the match against Omega. Maybe he fucks it up, and then Christian turns on Jungle Boy. I came out here to help you, and then you do this to me type of deal. Who knows? Or maybe they have a tag team match against the Bucks. Maybe it happens then. Maybe Christian realizes, why am I trying to help this young kid? And here I am. I should be in a higher position on the card instead of helping this fucking young geek. I don't know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, but a turn is going to happen. It just sounds like, it feels like it's in the cards for Christian Cage. So I'm very much looking forward to that, as I think, me personally, as a viewer, I'll be more invested in Christian as a heel than what I see of him right now. Because it ain't working. Marvez. He interviewed MJF, Wardlow, and Shawn Spears. MJF called Marvez pig vomit. Why not? He said everybody loves Spears hitting Guevara at the top of the show as Marvez tried to get a word with Sammy Guevara, but Shawn Spears was waiting with a steel chair, and he blasted Sammy Guevara at the top of the hour. He asked why Marvez and everybody is so upset over what he did to Dean Malenko last week. He said he's got a bad heart and he's got Parkinson's disease. So somebody like that should not be involved in this industry. And he gave one of those faces as, "Oh, are you upset I hit somebody with Parkinson's and who has a bad heart? Oh." So he came off very unapologetic here. He said people are throwing rocks when they should be thanking him for sending him to an early retirement. Chris Jericho and Jake Hager came out of nowhere and attacked the Pinnacle. They brawled onto the stage and into the ring. Eventually, Pinnacle, they got the numbers advantage. MJF held Jericho down, and they were about to swing a chair at Jericho's arm again, and Sammy Guevara's music played. He ran out to make the save. He tackled Spears. He hit Wardlow in the chin with the high knee, and MJF avoided a swinging chair shot. Crowd was going crazy, chanting Sammy's name. And then he saves the day. He gets on the microphone. He said, on Wednesday, this company finds out what he already knows, that it chose the wrong guy for the action figures and the wrong guy to put on posters. He said Wednesday he shows why he is the best ever, and MJF will know it. This was a nice segment. A nice segment to build up the MJF and Sammy Guevara match, which is going to be the main event of next week's show on Wednesday. And it's going to be the final main event at the final show of Daily's Place. And that's great. So these guys are being bestowed that honor, which is pretty damn good, man, as we're getting out of this Daily's Place era and we're going back in front of live fans back on the road. It's going to be a great match. AEW's done a tremendous job at building up this feud. And both of these guys have done even greater of a job on social media, building it up through the weeks leading up to the match, going back and forth, tit for tat on social media, just talking all this shit to each other. It's going to be a big match, man. And again, this is a highlight of AEW's future. And I mentioned to somebody when I was talking to, I believe I was talking to Hoop Media during the show, and I said, can you imagine Sammy Guevara in WWE? I just threw it out there. I'm watching this, and I'm seeing MJF and Sammy Guevara be built up in a main event on Dynamite, and I said, can you imagine Sammy Guevara and even MJF in WWE? I can't even see it. Sammy Guevara probably would have been buried on 205 Live. At this point, he probably would have been released. They wouldn't have done anything with him. MJF, he would have been fucking Miz 2.0, scripted beyond recognition, sounding like a fucking comedy character. They wouldn't have treated these guys at all the way you're seeing them treat them in AEW. It would have been terrible. Sammy Guevara would have been fucking terminated from his WWE contract if he was in the company. He would have never main evented a fucking show. Awful. And it's all about presentation. It's all about perception. If WWE doesn't grasp this at this point, I don't know why they're even in the business of signing talent after talent after talent and pretending like they know what pro wrestling is anymore. Look at Sammy Guevara. If Sammy Guevara was by himself, would you look at him as a main event guy? Probably not. Would you look at him as a main event guy if he went to WWE? Probably not. The reason why Sammy Guevara is a main event guy is because they treat him like a main event guy. They put him with main event talent. They put him with Chris Jericho. They put him with Santana Ortiz. Those are main event level performers. So the fact that Sammy Guevara is mixed in with Chris Jericho and he's in the inner circle, by perception, when he's removed from the inner circle and the inner circle doesn't exist anymore, years from now, you're going to think Sammy Guevara is a main event guy because he's always been main eventing shows with the inner circle. It is the perception of pro wrestling. It is the perception of what you see on television. It is very easy to feel that way when watching one show or the other. Some guys you watch, they should be main event guys. Some guys you watch, WWE, they're dropping the ball on them. AEW's doing it right. You got to love it. They're building a lot of talents at the same time, and they're doing it right. And I find it funny how people say that AEW is now building stars for the future. What the fuck you think? What do you think Sammy Guevara is? What do you think MJF is? What do you think Darby Allin is? Jungle Boy. I mean, look at the spotlight that these guys got on this show alone tonight. Darby was in a fucking tag team match with Sting at Double or Nothing. I mean, what do you think that means in the eyes of Tony Khan? He's building for the future. You guys got to smarten up, man. The geeks on social media, they speak and they are in their own little void, their own little bubble, man. They're speaking to nobody. They're speaking to other bots. Some of these accounts on social media, man, I don't even know how they exist. Some of them exist because these are fucking degenerates that have no social life and have no people skills whatsoever outside of Twitter, that they make some troll account and they think that they're popular hiding behind a fucking pro wrestling avatar as their profile picture. And they think they're smart talking all this shit on social media. It's ridiculous. It really is. Miro had a great promo. This is another one. Oh, well, he's an ex-WWE guy. Oh, I'm sorry. What was Miro? What was Rusev doing in his final days in WWE? Oh, that's right. He was popping out of wedding cakes. He was watching as his wife was making out with an overly large black man who is now the WWE champion, Bobby Lashley. That's great. That's great. WWE put his wife in that situation because they find it humorous that his wife would cheat on him on national television in a scripted storyline. Ridiculous. Now he's in AEW, he's the TNT champion, and he's looking like the beast that he should have been in WWE. Now, but we're not supposed to sign these guys. It's all right for WWE to bury them, but it's not okay for AEW to sign them and book them better than WWE could ever imagine. I'm sorry. He had a promo. He thanked God for making him powerful and for making his hot wife flexible. Oh, man, Miro is so great, man. So great. He vowed to not only beat up people who deserve it, but he's going to vow to beat up Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman Jr. Says he's about to find out he's standing between a cleaver and a meat. And it's meat. He said he'll find out soon why he's God's favorite champion. He said he's lying if he says he's not afraid. He said bravest thing he could ever do was thinking of attacking him, and the stupidest was actually doing it. So Miro, he's going to beat the shit out of Brian Pillman Jr. when it happens. I don't know when it happens. When is it happening? July 7th, Road Rager? Or is it happening next week? I don't know. Either way, whether it's 1 week or 2 weeks, Brian Pillman Jr. is about to get his fucking ass kicked by Miro. All Ego, Ethan Page versus Bear Bronson. This was another match where we get to see what Ethan Page can do in the ring as a single. Bear Bronson, another spotlight act on Bear Country. Half of Bear Country or Bear Bronson with Bear Boulder in his corner. Don't know much about Bear Country, but they remind me of Heavy Machinery when Heavy Machinery was around in NXT. That's what they remind me of. Not as good, but they remind me of Heavy Machinery. Good old Tucker Knight and Otis D. So Ethan Page here wins in 11 minutes. Page superplex Bronson off the second rope. Bronson came back with a sidewalk slam. He climbed to the top rope. Sky distracted him. Boulder, seeing this, he went after Sky. Ethan gave Boulder a low blow, then delivered his Ego's Edge off the top rope, which looked impressive, and Ethan Page wins in 11 minutes. Another just spotlight match for a young talent while pushing Ethan Page and Darby Allin moving forward. Ethan said on the microphone after the match was over, he's not stupid. And that's really not what you want to say as you pick up a microphone and have your first words come out, man. You don't want to say, I'm not stupid. Because the fans are going to let you know that you're stupid. But I guess he did it in a pro wrestling way where he knew what he was doing. Because that reaction is gold. Fans are chanting, yes, you are, yes, you are. He's like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. So he knows Darby Allin isn't done with him and pinning him is not enough for him. He says he's going to be the nail in his coffin. And he repeated it over and over and over again. And then he challenged Darby Allin to a casket match at Road Rager in Miami on July 7th. I'm here for this, all of it. I think this is going to be fucking great. A casket match with Darby Allin. God knows what that fucking guy's going to do if you allow him to have a casket or a coffin at ringside. It's going to be really, really fun stuff, man. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I guess Darby's going to take care of Ethan Page once and for all, man. Hopefully after this we move on because I don't know how you come back from being put in a fucking coffin with the top nailed shut. Please, move on. If this is the end, we really need it to be the end. But I'm very much looking forward to that. That should be fucking awesome. Britt Baker and Reba talked about what they'd asked Tony Khan if he owed them a favor, maybe a yacht or a football team. They made fun of Vickie Guerrero for asking for a wrestling match. They laughed. Baker said that she's the face of a whole new era, and they have no time for old faces like Vickie. She said they're going to beat her ass next week and give her a nice prescription to leave with. So we got a soundbite. We go right over to the others with Vickie and Nyla Rose. Rose says that they'll be locked in the ring with a beast. And get ready because Vickie is going to bring out the claws of the cougar. Whatever. I hope Vickie does not indeed wrestle, but I don't know. I hope we see something as far as this surprise happen next week when this match takes place. I do not want to see Vickie Guerrero wrestle on AEW Dynamite. Kris Statlander versus the Bunny. This is, again, nothing that's going to blow you away, but we got Kris Statlander getting some in-ring action here as she's going to be a big deal in the women's division. Statlander wins in 9 minutes. This wasn't bad. I expected a lot worse with the Bunny, but this wasn't bad. Bunny clothesline Statlander over the top rope. to the floor after a small commercial break. Bunny charged at her at ringside. Statlander caught her with a nice power slam on the outside. Cassidy and Blade were yelling at each other. They exchanged big moves, near falls in the middle of the ring. Blade distracted the referee, tossed the Bunny brass knuckles. So she had brass knuckles in her hand. Orange Cassidy rolls into the ring. He gets up. He takes the brass knuckles from the Bunny's hands. He puts it in his pocket. And Bunny was upset, yelling at him. Statlander came from behind, delivered Big Bang Theory for the win. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Statlander wins in about 10 minutes. And I laugh because I find it funny how people, oh, well, JD's making fun of Alexa Bliss and all of the theatrics. It's called character development. But they got no problem with Kris Statlander being an alien and Luchasaurus being a dinosaur. I'm sorry. I don't see how both of them are the same as Alexa Bliss. How is it the same? Somebody told me that Luchasaurus... Somebody look this up for me. In the live stream chat right now. Somebody told me that Luchasaurus has a degree in prehistoric science. And that's the reason why he is a dinosaur luchador on AEW television. Now, if that's factually correct, that alone makes all these geeks fucking idiotic. I don't see how Luchasaurus and Kris Statlander are the same. Like, what are you comparing? You're really reaching at that point. All because we hate something that clearly sucks on WWE television. Does that mean we have to start comparing it to other people on AEW television? I'm sorry, I don't see Luchasaurus coming out doing fucking dinosaur reenactments from Jurassic Park. I don't see him making dinosaur noises from Jurassic Park. I don't see him coming out with Dr. Grant, and I don't see him coming out with John Hammond. I don't see him coming out and fucking doing God knows what else, laying eggs, dinosaur eggs. I don't see him come out doing that what was that whistle in Jurassic Park 3 that Grant was blowing to signal and speak to the Raptors. He doesn't do shit like that. I don't see Kris Statlander fucking summoning aliens, abducting fucking people and taking them back to her home planet. I don't see her coming out with a ray gun. Pew, 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 pew. How is it the same? The woman wears green face paint on her face. And she boops people on the nose in this cutesy manner. I don't know how that resembles a fucking alien. You people gotta calm the shit down, man. Calm the comparisons down. You make yourself look like a blithering idiot every time you speak on social media. I never realized poking somebody's nose means that it's over-the-top alien gimmick. No, but Alexa Bliss throwing fireballs and fucking having black goo come from her face and magic and hypnosis and shit falling down from the fucking goddamn Thunderdome and a killer doll that she speaks to and that she can understand but nobody else can. Yes, these are the same things as Luchasaurus and Kris Statlander. Sure thing, online geek with 4 followers and 16 fucking numbers in your Twitter handle. And Helico and Jack Evans. At the end of the match, they held Cassidy. Blade came in, hit him with the brass knuckles, and that was pretty much it. Shivani interviewed QT Marshall about Brock Anderson's debut. So Cody Rhodes isn't there doing the hard work like he is because he's running around Hollywood doing auditions. Or maybe he's home caring for his wife that just gave birth, Marshall. What are we doing here, bro? Cody's in Hollywood? Doing what? They just had a kid. Said he hopes he gets a big part in one of those geeky superhero films so then he can achieve his dream of becoming a champion in AEW. We got a soundbite from Brian Pillman Jr. He said he's had to fight for everything he's ever had, and that includes fighting for his friends. So Miro picked a fight with him, and on Wednesday, he'll check his ego and win the TNT Championship. I like these backstage promos. I like the fact that AEW kind of spread them out throughout the entire show to make it flow very nice, build up for the weeks to come. It's nice. And this was a solid promo by Mr. Brian Pillman Jr. We got Kenny Omega. He came out with Don Callis, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows versus Jungle Boy, who came out with the Luchasaurus, who apparently lays eggs and is the same character as Alexa Bliss, and Marco Stunt. This was the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. Yes, in the chat. DV Acme. I see you, bro. That is an excellent point. The difference, Statlander being an alien and Luchasaurus being a dinosaur, have no bearing on them winning matches. They win on skill alone. Bliss is using fucking mind control to win matches. Bro, listen, you sit in VIP because I said so, and you got a free round of drinks on me, bro. Excellent comment. Excellent comment in the chat by DV Acme. There you go. Shut the fuck up, geeks. DV Acme just schooled you and buried you, so you have nothing else to add to this conversation. This was a very good match. Very good match between Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy. Now, I do got news on Mr. Omega. I do got news on Mr. Kenny Omega. Apparently, there are plans for Kenny Omega to drop the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, and those plans are already in place. Now, Kenny Omega, as you guys know, is the AEW World Champion. He's the Impact World Heavyweight Champion. He's the AAA Mega Champion. He's got a lot of gold. He's the belt collector for a reason, man. Kenny Omega, according to Dave Meltzer, it was stated that Impact has already planned who Kenny Omega will drop the Impact World title to. This was planned even before Omega won the title. Now, when it comes to this kind of thing, I would think that Dave Meltzer is in the know. I think Dave Meltzer would be factually correct in what he says regarding the Elite or anybody in the Elite or anything AEW related. He says this, and I quote, "They are all collaborating, especially with Kenny Omega. With Sammy Guevara, obviously, it wasn't a collaborated effort because it wasn't in as a high profile of a picture. But before Omega ever won the title, they had their battle plan all mapped out on what it's going to be, who's going to be on what show, and when it's going to be, and when Impact can get their title back. That was all part of the deal way ahead of time." Now, obviously, as far as I see it right now, I don't really see anybody on Impact's show that could win that world championship. He's already beat Rich Swann. He's already beat Moose, who just signed a lucrative Impact deal for 2 years, which would take him into 2023. Can't be Moose. But if we got Sami Callihan coming up, I do think that it will be Sami Callihan taking the championship from Kenny Omega. Now, I don't know how that would look if Kenny Omega lost the Impact World Championship and put a loss on his record. I feel like this belt collector thing really hasn't gotten going yet. And I feel like AEW was waiting for fans to get back in attendance and then for them to go on the road to really kind of push that door open even more so. But then we hear all the rumors of Kenny Omega being hurt. How hurt is he? What exactly is he suffering from? The way he wrestles, you would never really even know he's hurt. But if Sami Callihan wins the championship, then I could pretty much be very confident in me saying that I do think Omega loses the championship to Adam Page at All Out. Is that match too soon? Are we going to get that match way sooner than it really should be? Is it better saved for Full Gear in November? I don't know. I don't know. Who do you guys think that Kenny Omega will drop the Impact Championship to? Will it be Sami Callihan? I mean, Sami Callihan is really the lifeblood of Impact. If you really want to look at somebody who is the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling, I mean, Sami Callihan is the perfect fucking guy to win the championship. Sami Callihan is getting that title shot at Slammiversary. I could see him winning that. I could see him winning that match then. So it's going to be a very interesting situation with AEW. Maybe it's not Sami. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's somebody else that I don't know of. But he's already run through Rich Swann. He ran through Moose. Who else is there? I don't really think there's anybody else on Impact's roster that is big enough of a name to beat Kenny Omega. Sammy's in that conversation. So we'll see what happens, man. But apparently that is already in the plans, and they already know when and who it will be and where it will be. This match was great, man. Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy. Awesome match. I said this at the top of the show. I think if there's anything that this match showed you, it was Jungle Boy is going to be a future world champion. He's going to be a future world champion, man. They made this a big deal, and his parents were sitting at ringside, and they ejected Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus first from ringside because Marco Stunt was acting like a geek and a clown. And then we got the Good Brothers getting thrown out as well. So they were all tossed from ringside, which was very good. One-on-one match, no bullshit. Don Callis was on commentary as always. They chained wrestled, and Omega took Jungle Boy down by his hair. So they were going tit for tat for a little bit. Jungle Boy went for a step-up arm drag. Omega caught him. Jungle Boy fought out, hit a springboard arm drag, and then a drop kick, sending Omega to the floor. Kind of surprised the champion right out of the gate, which looked great. Crowd went crazy. Really good stuff there. Omega stopped the dive and pulled Jungle Boy out of the ring, sending him into the barricade. So Omega then sent Jungle Boy into the crowd, and he waited for a count out, but Jungle Boy made it back in time. So Jungle Boy, he was about to be hit with "You Can't Escape," but he avoided it. But Omega got the knees up on a senton attempt, hit a backbreaker to follow, went for a cover, got a 2 count on Jungle Boy. So we got some chops. Jungle Boy fought out of a situation against Omega, hit a beautiful brainbuster. Omega went to the outside where Jungle Boy hit two suicide dives, one tope con hero with an elbow, and then a regular tope con hero on the outside. Jungle Boy went to the top rope, but Omega chopped him down. Omega went for a superplex and hit it. He crossed the legs up in the air, dropped him down off the top rope. It looked beautiful. Jungle Boy avoided a V-trigger, flipped out of a German. He then hit a thrust kick, but Omega came back with a beautiful V-trigger, snapdragon suplex, another V-trigger. And then he went for the one-winged angel. Jungle Boy countered the one-winged angel into a reverse Rana on Omega, which planted Omega right on his head. And then a sliding elbow right to the back of the head. He went for a cover, got a near fall, 2 count. Crowd thought it was over. He then went for a ripcord, but Omega turned it into yet another V-trigger. Powerbomb by Omega, another V-trigger for 2. Omega was V-trigger happy here, man. He went for another one, but Jungle Boy rolled through, caught Omega in mid V-trigger, and applied the snare trap submission. So the Good Brothers ran out. They were worried. They got kicked out, but they were not supposed to be at ringside. They ran out. They were immediately cut off by Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. Out came the Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian, to aid this 3-on-2 battle. Omega reached the ropes, so he avoided the snare trap submission. Then they get back up. They traded forearms in the middle of the ring. Omega hit another V-trigger. Jungle Boy hit a rebound lariat. Omega comes back with a brain buster. He goes for a cover, only gets a 2 count. So we got another V-trigger by Omega. Jungle Boy fought out of a one-winged angel, rolled Omega up for a great near fall, popped the crowd again. He locked on the snare trap once again. Omega grabbed Jungle Boy's hair. We couldn't see from watching on television. It looked like he was maybe raking the eyes or biting him. So Excalibur said that he was being bit, I believe, by Omega, or raking of the eyes, one or the other. So he broke the hold. Jungle Boy then perched Omega on the top rope, but Omega slid out, dropped him over the ropes. Then Omega ran the corner-to-corner spot, V-trigger to the back of the head, and then he dropped him with a one-winged angel, and he got the cover 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Kenny Omega pins Jungle Boy clean to win and retain the AEW Championship. After the match, we had a bunch of chaos happen, which I don't know why we needed this. So Omega hit Jungle Boy with the belt. Christian ran out to make the save. Omega bailed. So we got Matt Hardy in the Hardy family office. This is Matt Hardy and Private Party. They went after Christian. Hardy set up a twist of fate, but Christian countered into a kill switch attempt. But the Young Bucks ran in and super kicked Christian. And the Bucks celebrated with Omega as Hardy gave Christian a twist of fate as the show went off the air. So it looks like the heel turn, like I mentioned before, for Christian, if it's coming, which I do think it's coming, is going to be saved. We got to get through this Matt Hardy situation with Christian first. I'm glad that they did a clean finish. I'm glad that it was a one-on-one match with no fuckery from the outside. No bullshit from Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, and the Elite. I'm glad it was a one-on-one match. And the situation with Christian and Matt Hardy, I could have done without that towards the end of the show. But I get why they did it. And Jungle Boy losing here, man. You know, there's no shame in Jungle Boy losing to Kenny Omega. This is what he is supposed to do in this situation. Jungle Boy was never meant to win the World Championship tonight from Kenny Omega. This was more of, we're going to put you in this spot. We trust you. You're going to be one of our biggest guys in the company. And this is going to be a foundation for where you're going to be a year, 2 years, 3 years from now. This is why I said at the top of the show, all this match did was put it in your head that eventually, at some time, we don't know when the time comes, when he gets older and he matures and he gets to that point, Jungle Boy is going to be undoubtedly, inevitably, an AEW World Champion. And if you don't believe that, I don't know what the fuck you're watching, man. I really don't. It's going to be interesting where they go with the World Championship as far as who's next. Is it going to be Christian getting through Matt Hardy, and then we're going to get Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega? Is that going to be one of them matches that is going to be thrown in between the pay-per-view? Before we get to the pay-per-view, what's happening there? The Bucks came out and attacked Christian. Does that signal after Christian gets done with Matt Hardy that he's going to go after Kenny Omega in the World Championship? Where does the heel turn happen with Christian, and when does he turn on Jungle Boy? Does it happen when Christian gets his championship match, and maybe Jungle Boy tries to save Christian Cage in a situation, but inadvertently fucks him over, and then Christian turns heel on Jungle Boy, setting up their match for All Out? Because if the match is supposed to happen at All Out between Christian and Jungle Boy like I expect it to, with Christian being heel, then the Kenny Omega match with Christian should take place a few weeks before that actually starts to build. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with Christian, Jungle Boy, who Kenny Omega fights next. Obviously, he's got Sammy next, Sammy Callahan at Slammiversary, which I will be watching because Sammy Callahan is a big favorite of mine. And I think that match is going to be a barn burner. So they got my money just based on that match alone. He's got the Andrade match. Then he's got All Out. Possible another match on Dynamite with Christian maybe. We don't know. Omega's going to be a busy man this summer, man. It's going to be a busy, busy man. So, again, very interesting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Good Dynamite tonight. Set up a lot of the future kids for the company. Built around one big main event match for Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega. So, it gets a thumbs up from me. Thank you guys very much for tuning in on this Saturday night, man. We're going to go over the Super Chats in just a second, but let's check the chat here. We got over 1,000 inside the venue on a Saturday night. Appreciate you. Hit that thumbs up. We're almost at 600, man. We got 548 likes. Can we try for 750 likes before we get on out of here, man? Hit that thumbs up if you have not done so. Go check out all the other content you might have missed on the channel. That is live on the homepage right now. We got Monday Night Raw, NXT. We got some extras, off-the-script extras, highlighting some of the news during the week. Friday Night SmackDown post-show live last night. Go check that out. And as I said earlier, Off the Script, episode 382 will be live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here on YouTube, man. So look forward to that. And go check out Dr. Squatch, man. DrSquatch.com. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout. 20% off all of Dr. Squatch, man. So go and hit them up. They are a great friend and a great sponsor of OTS. Super chats are open, man. Let's get them on in. We're going to start at the top with the super chats tonight. Let's see what we got here, man. We got Michelle Moran. with a $2 super chat. Omega Jungle Boy shows WWE how wrestling should be done. It was a good match, Michelle. Is it going to tell WWE or show WWE anything? No. They don't give a shit, man. They do not give a shit at all. Justin with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, today's my birthday. I was wondering if I get a birthday shout out from you. Thanks. Also, great show tonight. Justin, happy fucking birthday, man. Thank you for the $4.99. What are you drinking inside the venue, bro? Are you of age, number one? Or number two, what are you drinking, man? The venue's got you covered all night. We're picking up the tab, bro. Tyler with a $5 super chat. If Page is to beat Omega for the title, would you have Page be the first to kick out of the One-Winged Angel too? Always love your opinion, bro. Tyler, no. I do not even attempt to do the One-Winged Angel in that match and have a kick out of the One-Winged Angel. He could attempt it, but it should be an attempt into a Deadeye or a Buckshot Lariat, and that is it. Omega should have a finishing move that nobody ever kicks out of. I don't even know if it's ever been done. The One-Winged Angel should be protected at all costs, man, because if you do it, if you have somebody kick out of the One-Winged Angel, it's going to give some sort of inhuman superpower to whomever does it. If you were to do it, it needs to be in the biggest match ever. And that man should be undoubtedly the face of the fucking company. But right now, no. Emmanuel Reed with a $10 super chat. All hail the Messiah of the IWC. Thank you, Emmanuel, for the $10 super chat, bro. Andres with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Love you, JD. Keep up the good work, please. I'm going to see Killswitch Engage. Can't wait. Bro, you're going to see Killswitch Engage live in concert, man. That's awesome. I don't know if I will be attending any concert soon, but the first one I'm going to attempt to do is the Mark Tremonti Seven Dust show in September in Sayreville, New Jersey. I know Tremonti's hitting the road, and I haven't seen Tremonti live yet with his solo band, man. So I very much want to see him live. But thank you, Andres, for the $50 super chat. That's a lot of money, man, to spend inside the venue. I greatly appreciate you. Jacob Donnelly, $10 super chat. Guys like Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, MJF, and Sammy Guevara are the reason I love this company so much. AEW has a bright future ahead. You nailed it right on the head, brother. Young talent being built up, man. What a novel concept. It's unbelievable. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. Hangman Page needs to change his entrance to Roundabout by Yes. Then he must job out to Miro and do belt versus belt with Kenny. Thoughts, my friend? You know, there's a death metal band that actually covered Roundabout. A Legion, I think is their name. They covered Roundabout, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Great song. He's got to beat Miro and do belt versus belt with Kenny. Nah, man. There's divisions. There are divisions for a reason. You can't really have shit like that happen. One belt is enough for Mr. Adam Page. Eddie Hazard with a $9.99 super chat. OTS venue is the best place to be on a Saturday night. Listening to OTS while I DoorDash. Love to hear it, Eddie. Dynamite was fun tonight. Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy are both made men. Full crowds make all the difference. Indeed. Hopefully that DoorDash is going well for you, man. And the venue is the place to be on a Saturday night. I will tell you that. 4th Marine, Sergeant Bull Fisher, with a $5 super chat. What's next for Dexter Lumis? Your thoughts? I have no idea, Marine. I feel like Dexter Lumis has lost his appeal as they humanized him, but he's a ladies' man now, man. He's going after Indy Hartwell. Can you blame him? She ain't my type, so God bless Dexter Lumis. Carl Mark in the chat. When did Denise not praise something on TV? I don't know what you mean by that, bro. You know, funny thing is, I sat next to Denise at Double or Nothing. She's quite liked, man, but her reviews are not my cup of tea, bro. I will say that. Some people watching me, they may say the same thing about me. Oh, this guy, he's vulgar. He's this or that. His voice is fucking annoying. He thinks who he is. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else. His reviews are not my cup of tea. Whatever. You like who you like, man. You like who you like. I'm not here to talk shit. What's next for Dexter Lumis? I don't know, man. I don't know. Laura Conway, $9.99 super chat. Hey, JD, great podcast. As always, I'm drinking a truly hard seltzer. I'm just sitting here watching you on a Saturday night. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here. Laura, I appreciate that. I really do. I hope you're enjoying your truly hard seltzer. I don't sell seltzers. Alcoholic seltzers in the venue, man. If I do, it's got to be of a greater quality. There's this place about 15 to 20 minutes away, man. Evil Twin Brewing in Ridgewood, New York. It's on the border of Queens and Brooklyn. They got some delicious hard seltzers, man. Delicious. If you guys are in New York and you live in the Queens, Brooklyn area, I highly suggest you go check them out. DV Acme with a $5 super chat. Is this what you want? A great night of wrestling from a company that doesn't insult its audience's intelligence? Is this what you want? In fact, DV, yes, it is. You know what I also want? A well-written show on Monday night. But I know we're not going to get that. Man. Michael Raymond with a $2 super chat. JD, could Peter Avalon be an unexpected TNT champ? No. No. Not at all. I got a better chance of Alexa Bliss knocking on my front door and cursing me with Lily than Peter Avalon does winning the TNT championship. Not happening. 4th Marine Sergeant Bull Fisher with a $5 super chat. Johnny Gargano, the best wrestler I've ever seen, kick out of multiple finishes. Who do you think? Yes. Go back and watch the Adam Cole match with Johnny Gargano at TakeOver Brooklyn, man. One of the greatest professional wrestling matches ever. Might have been a little overwhelming with the kick out of finishing moves, but with Morrow on commentary and the way that crowd was eating up everything in that final pinfall of the third fall in that match, do you really give a shit? Yes, Johnny Gargano was excellent. One of my favorite wrestlers right now, for sure. Always was. Listen, Karl Mark, she could enjoy the Alexa Bliss stuff. She could enjoy the Nikki Cross superhero stuff. I mean, not to say anything bad about what she does over there for, SAP and The Observer. And she's a little too happy for my tastes. Nothing really wrong with that. I don't necessarily listen to people that are overly happy like that. I think it comes off as fake. Comes off as disingenuous at sometimes. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think it's real. I don't think anybody could be on YouTube and be overly positive about what you're watching on TV when we all know the shows suck. Let's be real. You can like what you like, but the fact of the matter is it sucks. The fact of the matter is the company's making more money now than ever before, and the product is the worst it's ever been. And it's written by people that don't give a shit. That's my fucking problem. I'm not here to be positive. I'm not here to talk about what Nikki Cross is doing as superhero fucking Nikki Cross, okay? It's not going to fix the issues. It's an embarrassment to the women's revolution. Don't get me started. I do not like happy people. Yes, Sam, man, I do not like happy people. I think happy people are fucking nauseating, to be quite honest with you. I think there's a reality when it comes to this type of thing, man. You're either happy or you're fucking miserable, and there's nowhere in between. I'd like to think I fall somewhere in between. When I'm happy, you know I'm happy. When I'm miserable, you certainly know I'm miserable. I mean, does she even review the shows? The one time I tuned in, she was reading viewers' comments for like half an hour. It's not really a review of a show. Munchie time with a $19.99 super chat. Enjoyed watching Dynamite tonight on a 4-pixel hotel room TV. Keep up the great work, JD. P.S. Tried Guy Fieri's Branson restaurants and the trash can nachos, chicken Alfredo, and dark chocolate whiskey cake was fantastic. Bro, listen, I read a review on his restaurants and these exact dishes. I heard they were garbage. I don't think I'd ever eat at a Guy Fieri restaurant. I don't mind watching Guy. Guy's one of my favorite TV personalities ever. But I don't think I'd watch him the same way I'd go to one of his restaurants. But if you said it's good, man, I believe you. Who doesn't like who doesn't know how to make a good chicken Alfredo? It's one of the easiest things to do. Grill the chicken, blacken it up a little bit, spice it up. Some homemade Alfredo sauce. Some of those big linguine noodles, man. Beautiful. Or you could use a smaller pasta, man. You could use angel hair. You could use penne. You could use a nice rigatoni. You could use a nice bow tie pasta. I would know. Titus has all this on the shelf in the kitchen back in the venue. But Titus makes all his pasta in-house, man. It's all homemade. That's why we're number one. Kelly Yamaguchi with a $5 super chat. What is up, Kelly? Nice to see you inside the venue as always. Take my money. I'll be off YouTube for a week because I'm moving to another city for my new barbershop job. Have a good week, JD and the OTS family. Kelly, when you moving back to the States? Were you ever in the States? What is all this you working overseas? Maybe it's better over there, man. Who the fuck knows? America's gone to shit anyway, so stay over there. What the fuck am I talking about? Thank you for the $5, Kelly. Hooligan with a $20 super chat. Washed my World Champions with frosty peppermint from Dr. Squatch in 108-degree heat. Thanks to Edgar and all the OTS fam for their love. My mom says she loves you all. Prayers for Susan and for Laura's mom, OTS for life. Thank you, Hooligan. I have not tried that frosty peppermint yet, man. Now you're making me want to go reach out to my representative and say, hey, listen, I need some fucking frosty peppermint, bro. I need to wash my fucking nuts in frosty peppermint. You know, nuts and the Nutcracker and the Christmas seed. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, man. 4th Marine Sergeant Bull Fisher. $5 super chat. God bless you. Right back at you, brother. Oh, Jesse's in the chat. Look, he's stumbling into the venue. Oh, AJD, I'm drunk. I'm about 2 hours late for the show, man. Did you get started yet? What are you talking about? The ice? What time is it, man? I thought it was 8 o'clock. And Justin with a $1.99 super chat. I'm 31 also. If you have a Coke or a Pepsi, please. Bro, we'll get you whatever you want, man. You want a Pepsi? I got it. You want a Coke? I got it. I might put a little Crown Royale apple in one of them, bro. Slip you some peanut butter whiskey or something. I don't know. Oh, Jesse. You better show up on Wednesday, motherfucker. He's gonna bench you. He comes into the fucking venue. I'm gonna bench you all. Hey, guys, is it time to start the review yet? Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for all your support. Bro, listen. Lee Johnson hit me up, bro. He's not happy with you. Lee Johnson hit me up tonight, bro. He's like, dump this guy that you got as your partner on Wednesday nights, man. The last couple of Wednesday nights have been a blessing because I didn't have to hear his ridiculous takes telling me I suck. DV Acme with a $5 super chat. JD, do you think that with the Forbidden Door open, we'll see an AEW talent in the G1 Climax this year? Yeah. Moxley. I think Moxley will be in the G1. Anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you for the super chats. Go check out all the other content that you might have missed. Follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. And hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. I'll be back here live tomorrow night. Live OTS episode 382 at 8 p.m. Well, guys, I'm getting out of here, man. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. I'm getting in the Mustang. The windows are down. I'm about to hit the highway, but I need two very important things from you guys right now. Number one, guitar emojis in the chat right now. And number two, that music you're listening to, the sweet sounds of Pilot. I need that music on max. I'll see you guys tomorrow night live for OTS episode 382. Until then, thank you guys, and I will see you all later. Edgar, you fucking beast! Edgar, love my OTS fam. Thanks for all the laughs. Love you, bro. Shut up and enjoy this 50 bomb. LOL, Night Goon. Edgar, you're a fucking savage, man. 50 bomb to end the stream. So now, being that he ruined my outro, Edgar, I can't get mad at Edgar, man. I'm gonna sit around for another minute or two until the next guitar solo comes up. You guys are great, man. Listen, again, a word of programming note here. Again, live tomorrow. So if you guys are here and you want off the script, don't ask me where it is. We'll be live tomorrow on YouTube, episode 382 of OTS. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Thank you again to everybody that super chatted, man. I love you guys. I would not be here without you. I greatly appreciate you guys. And again, I will see you all tomorrow and then a brand new week of content as we head towards live fans and we head towards Money in the Bank, bro. I'll see you guys later.